Star Wars Celebration 2023 next year is in London, England.
England.
Cheerio. Part of what we are talking about tonight is what we got right at this last celebration and what we would do differently so that the Brits can learn from us. Josh.
Ugh. Hi, Andy.
What up, Josh?
Andy, you made the last minute call tonight. No headphones.
Free.
So, ladies and gentlemen, these are our ears.
First time on the show. The ears.
Why?
I don't know.
Andy didn't want headphones.
So,
What Andy wants, Andy gets.
Kind of a
He's
prima
Louise.
donna.
I feel weird, but yeah. it's
Naked?
fine.
You feel naked?
I like your voice straight into my ear holes.
Just
I might put them on.
injected.
I might put them on. I might put them on later. But
Maybe
we'll see.
I will too.
See.
Welcome to the latest episode of the Holo Chronicles podcast, where Josh and I recap what we got right about Star Wars Celebration and what we would do differently the next time around. So you, the listener, the viewer, can learn from our wisdom or lack thereof. Because
Well,
this was the first time we had been to a celebration. We've also got some stuff to show off because it wouldn't be us if we didn't have some stuff to show. And
Spend
actually, we got quite a few things tonight that I think you'll really enjoy. But Josh,
before we get going, should we welcome those in the chat? Should we welcome? We have a few great people. We have our best friends are in the chat right now.
The bestest.
We've got Matt, of course. Matt,
of course.
We've got JD.
Yes,
JD's already. I mean, we are ride buddies, JD and I.
Yes, Indiana Jones. In fact,
we got Gary Moore. There is room for one more. It's only Gary.
Always.
We've got Brandon, apprentice. He walks in.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Steve-O, G-Force, Rick.
Very cool. Very cool to have you guys. We're happy to be here. I think we're just going to chat tonight.
We are. We've got things to talk about, but not a particular order. But I do feel like, Josh, we need to hit the ground running with what we got right, because for first-time goers, I think we nailed quite a bit, and some of it was unintentional.
I agree. Now, the reason we're talking about this is because, like you mentioned in the intro, London, England is coming. Like, it's in April, so it's 10
like
months. This is planning period right now. And the reason we feel a little bit of this is because we had unintentionally like 2.5 years to plan for Anaheim, right? So, and now it feels like compressed. If you want to go and you're from the States, we're talking about international flights. We're talking about
hotels,
passports.
I
mean, food. I mean, is it all just shepherd's pie over there? That's what I'm worried about.
And warm beer.
Is that Germany? I don't know. It doesn't matter.
What's up, Anthony?
We're very scared. Vaccinations or at least all the stuff that it takes to travel internationally.
Do you have to get malaria pills to go to London? I don't know.
Do you have to bring your own mosquito net?
Yeah, I'd forget my continents.
So American of us right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, the planning is now, and we're going to tell you why. And that's why we're talking yet again about Star Wars Celebration, because really it is about the past one, but it's about if you're going, what you should do or not do.
And I think
to get ready.
I think you could apply this even if you're not going to go to the London one, but if it's on your bucket list to do, take heed. All right. Learn from our wins and our losses. And let's get right into this. Josh,
let's do it.
You want to start first? You want to give like one big one that we nailed? We're going to talk the goods first.
Well, for one thing, we had like we said, we had a unique experience in that we planned for this 2 years in advance. And so we missed a couple things, at least I did. And one of the big ones is, where you're going to stay, right?
Hotel is, as it turns out, crucial to the experience.
Crucial. And because we used Reed Pops or I don't know, the third party block of rooms that happened to be at the Anaheim Convention Center, we had to go through kind of some paths to get there. So it wasn't a direct booking with a hotel. So a couple things you need to really be key on is make sure that, and some of you are very organized and this might be, no brainers, but
hi, Katie,
but make sure that you save, you categorize those emails within your massive volume of emails and junk mail and just kind of start setting up a folder is what I eventually did. But it was almost too little too late because we missed a really crucial part, right? We missed that our flight dates and our stay dates weren't the same. Now, this again is really boneheadish. It should be no brainer. However, 2.5 years, right? So we had planned this a ways back. So
we did.
But the most important part of that is, and you brought this up, Andy, is it's so crucial, is a hotel on site.
We could not have been any closer to the convention center than where we were at, which meant a few things. First of all, we got up, went down to the lobby, stepped outside, and we were virtually in line to get into Star Wars Celebration. And when it wasn't like a rush time in the morning, we could just walk in. We walked out of the hotel and walked into the convention center, and it was perfect because there were times where we were walking all day long, and it was just nice that we could just leave the convention center, go take a power nap, head back down, and we were so efficient with our time. Because of it, we were able to maximize our experience, I think, in a lot of ways.
And the added bonus being it was kind of a hub.
100%. So our hotel was the Hilton. Across the street was the Marriott. And the Marriott was equally close to the convention center.
It had an extra road you had to walk across.
I mean, we're not nitpicking here, but
cheapskates.
But both of those like lobby bar areas were hubs. Like that's where people congregated. That known people stayed in those hotels because of the convenience of the location.
Right.
And so, we did bump into some people that we knew or wanted to know just by proxy.
Or pretend we know.
And
say we're friends.
Hey, you remember me, right? You know who I am. Anyway, the hotel was kind of we thought about where we were going to stay. We wanted to be close, but the fact that we were at where we were at turned out to be a huge blessing that we weren't totally planning for. And
that's due number one of the do's and don'ts is
while location.
While it may up front be an additional cost, I think whenever you look back on some of those things, especially if you have time right now to save up, and I found this with many family vacations, is whenever I try and cut costs and say, oh, we can walk an extra quarter mile, it just changes your experience. And then if you try to put value on your experience, you start to realize, like, man, I would have paid an extra $200 or $300 to not have to go through this, or you end up spending $200 or $300 getting Ubers back and forth. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah, it becomes an expense.
Now we don't know, and I made this comment. I'm like, I don't know what the experience is going to be like in London. Do we know the location? See, I just heard London. Do we know like the actual like building?
Yep.
Okay, so and that it could be that due number two is talk to your locals and get some insight as to where you should stay. All right, so let's move on past that.
Okay, hotel. Awesome. I think one thing that we did right was get the 4-day pass.
Yeah.
And it probably matters too that we were out of towners. So us going and taking the time to fly down there and stuff just for a 1 or 2 day pass
didn't make sense.
It didn't make as much sense. I know people do that and
sure, you could have parlayed Disney into it and said, oh, I'm going 2 days.
Of course.
Disney.
Yeah. Of course. But I think a real benefit to having the 4-day pass, the full amount. Yeah, those tickets do cost more, of course, but it allowed me to, and I won't speak for you on this, Josh, because we weren't always together, but it allowed me to take 2 days for the vendor floor, right?
Yeah.
And get the lay of the land, because I probably, like a lot of people, I had a budget that I was going to stick to as far as like buying toys and posters,
Right.
merchandise, that kind of stuff that I really wanted to stick to. And I didn't want to spend it all on the first day. And I could have. It would have been really easy to, because there's a lot of cool stuff. And there's stuff for every Star Wars collector that's there. But it allowed me to get to see everything, to have an idea of where I wanted to go back and what I wanted to negotiate for. And
So
so
you're saying like almost
I could take my time. I wasn't rushed.
Right. Because of the 4-day pass.
Because I knew that I was coming back tomorrow.
Sure.
Or I knew that I had
You didn't have
Saturday.
any FOMO. You didn't have fear of somebody buying it out from under you.
There was one thing that I was a little concerned about, because there was only one of them that I saw after I had taken 2 days to do a thorough walkthrough of every place. And of course, being the first one that we had ever been to, I really wanted to see everything, or as much as I could. And there were 3 floors of things to see. Most of, the vendor floor was the main floor, but
Sure.
But it allowed me the option of being patient in my purchases. Now, I have a pretty narrow focus of things that I collect: vintage and posters. Outside of that, I've really kind of said no to it. And there's a ton of new stuff there.
Because there's not that many posters out there.
Would we come back with like 9?
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
You can buy art all day long and
I
not
know.
get all the art.
I know. But yeah, art too. So I mean, I felt, for me, it might have been a little different than somebody who casts a wide net when they collect.
Sure.
Just like lots of Star Wars things attract them, and it attracts me too. But I keep to a pretty narrow focus. And so the 4-day pass afforded me the ability to be strategic. And
be calm, which I think is important too, right?
I could take it in. I could see things. I wasn't in a rush, because I knew, I knew that I didn't have to feel like I had to get whatever I was going to get by tonight, or I had to see everything and hustle through things and maybe miss things. So the 4-day pass was great. And on top of that, Josh, getting the Jedi pass.
So that's the do I wanted to bring up is, and look, and we already had a comment in there, like, hurry up and get the 4-day pass. They go fast. The Jedi passes went even faster. Like, we're talking, before you could log in, they were sold out. It was one of those scenarios, kind of one of our pre-order scenarios that kind of suck, where, I don't know, you're a victim of your broadband, you're a victim of whatever, and you just didn't get the Jedi pass. What I would say though is, and this will parlay into another statement, is if you have a group, get at least one person in your group with the Jedi pass. And the reason for that is at least in Anaheim, I'm shocked at the level of I guess scrutiny that Anaheim presented for badges. Really, if you just had it around your neck, there was no comparison to a photo of you, which honestly in today's technology should have been really easy. Like, here's your pass, here's your picture, and they scan it and that comes up. They do it at Disneyland's front gate because they know you're not going to share, you could share tickets and they don't want you to. So, but at least for Anaheim, and take this with a disclaimer, I don't know if this is going to be true at every event, but the ability for Andy and I to hand off a Jedi pass was pretty cool, because there were some panels that I was less interested in and Andy was more interested in. Or even from a fairness perspective, I was like, oh my God, I got to go see the welcome, show that was amazing. And so I felt guilt, and I'm like, Andy, take this and go to the next one. And then he saw something absolutely amazing, and I was like, and so it was good because I was jealous and he was jealous, but we each got to experience
But
that.
It wasn't jealousy though, Josh.
I was jealousy
tickled that you got to see John. I mean, I would have loved to have seen John Williams
oh my God.
conduct 3 songs and have Harrison Ford walk out. But I'm so happy that you got to do that, and
Sure.
you telling me about it was like almost as good. And I feel like the things that I saw and I could share with you, you were like, I'm glad you did that, man. And so you pay up for that 100%.
You do, but
and they go fast, but we didn't have to wait in line.
That's the key point. Is we literally rolled in at the panels that we went to last minute.
Yeah.
I mean, or if you showed up a half an hour early, I still had 4 rows back, middle seating, Ewan McGregor, Hayden Christensen in my face, and more. You know, Jon Favreau,
right.
Dave Filoni. And
with the Jedi Pass, you can get into all the panels. There's no lottery.
There's no lottery, at least on the celebration stage, which is where everything happened. If
or
you
the big stuff, yeah.
I didn't know that. Like, I was like, oh man, you can only get on the celebration stage. The other stages are just ancillary stages with like broadcasts of what's happening on the celebration stage. So there was a lot of benefit to that. I would just say if you're going in a group of 5, 6, even 10, if you can get one person and maybe share the burden of the cost amongst your group, it's well worth it for you to say dish that person out there, especially if you're a content creator, to come back with info and be like, oh my God, guys, this is what I saw. I know it's not the same as being there, but Andy and I got to sit in the room after each of our experiences and just kind of, like you said, happily share them with all that excitement, you know. And then if you're again a creator, you get to share it with all 7 of your followers. So just like us.
Hey, 21 in the chat right
Hey,
now. So
get some stragglers.
Yes, if you can swing it, if you can obtain it, maybe you can hire the 18. No, yeah. The Jedi Pass. It's
all right. So what else do we have on the list?
I found that if I wasn't attending one of the celebration stage panels, the big panels, it's a really good time to eat.
Yeah,
in the food truck area, because those theaters or arenas where they're having those stage hold thousands of people. And I don't know how many people were at Celebration at Anaheim, but there was a noticeable difference in wait time and people eating in the food truck area when the big panels were going on.
Sure.
So that's just a little bit of a strategic thing. If you're not in one of the big panels in the afternoon, that's a great time to go get something to eat. So that's a little one, but it's good. Solid.
Okay.
Figured that out on day 3.
So do we have any don'ts?
Or
do you want to keep going on the do's?
I want to keep going on the do's. Go to as many meetups.
So yeah, that's a do and a don't for us. So what I would say is if you're going out there, especially with like the friends we have in the chat right now, thanks for joining us in the chat. Appreciate it. Mash that like button for us. I think that what would fall in a don't category for us is we were not, diligent enough in creating meetups, because we should have done a better job of saying, hey, come hang with Josh and Andy here. And I think that may have been more of just for lack of a better term, kind of a lack of ego, and just like, oh, I don't want to say come meet Josh and Andy.
Yeah.
But it turns out we had a lot of friends there. And I think if you look at it, not from the perspective of it's Josh and Andy from the Holo Chronicles, but it's just, it's Josh and Andy and all our buddies.
Yeah. We want to see you.
We didn't do a good job of saying, you know what, we're going to be at this location at this time for this amount of time.
Yeah.
But we did have some friends there that did kind of do that and say, hey, you know what, we're going here. And we went there. Andy and
we got to see people
we got
that
to
way.
See, we got to see people that way. So I would say that falls into a do and don't. Like, don't forget to either join a meetup or create a meetup if you're somebody that's got friends that have never met you before. And that's where I feel a little guilt of like, we should have totally been like, hey, we're going to be at the lobby bar or at the local bar or at wherever. Meet us there. Mm-hmm. We're there from 4 to 6 and we want to see you. And at least give somebody an opportunity to come and share a drink with you and chat with you. Although we had those experiences, but there's definitely, for me, that would have put a pin in, like, we did that. You know, we met the people we meant to meet. Now we got some some really great experiences that just happened organically.
Yeah.
Like hanging out with JD in
queuing with Gary.
Yeah,
and,
queuing with Gary. And
I hung out with
Frank,
Jason
Frank
one
and Amy,
morning, and Joey.
chatting with Amy. I mean,
yeah, Frank and Amy, we always
it was
bump
awesome.
into them. Yeah.
So, but it wasn't deliberate. And I think that there should be some sense of deliberation when, being deliberate when
So if we do this again in the future, we'll be more intentional with, hey, if you can make it, great. We're going to be right here for the next couple hours.
Absolutely.
Having some beers or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and join those meetups is what I'm saying. It's like, find a couple meetups, because we just, while we were there, found the meetups instead of intentionally being like, where are you guys going to be? Because we had people we wanted to see. We had people we wanted to meet up, and we met them, like I said, organically, but we meet everybody from other, content creation. So,
and kind of to piggyback on top of that, some of the most fun that we had, or that people at Celebration had, were at Star Wars Celebration events that weren't on site.
Right.
For example, the Star Wars night at Disney. That was incredible.
God,
it was the best way to do Disneyland. I wish my tummy didn't hurt that night.
I know you had
I had to cut it about an hour short, and ended up having a pretty sweet experience because of it. But like, I would have loved to go on Indiana Jones with you, because you just walked right up and got on.
Yeah.
And you guys waited a little bit to get on the Rise of the Resistance, and I didn't get to do that with you either. But we had the park to ourselves for 5 hours.
Right, and that's a unique experience since it was Disneyland.
No, it wasn't quite 5 hours, but it was
pretty close.
9 to 1.
Yeah. So, but we got in there at what time? 6.
We got in there at 6.
So, they cleared it out, but we had 7 hours of.
By 9 o'clock, it was just the Star Wars people. So, like, that was really cool. The people that went to Mosh Isley, the concert, said it was an absolute blast.
Sure.
And
so I think that's a do. Join as many, and that's something we didn't know about, right? Or else we would have gone. But I think that's something that you have to parlay a little bit too, is like your extracurricular activities outside of the event. And Jason I put it up on the screen. That meetups are what make it fun, is maybe more valuable, or at least the perfect bookend to the experience. Because you're kind of having your own individual experience when you're in Celebration. You're looking at booths, you're going to panels, but then afterwards, the whole downloads that you get from people, and those that I would say that's a do for sure, is be deliberate in your meetups. And if you're an organizer, then make sure other people know and be like, hey, we're going to be there, get people to sign up. That's what I'm thinking about, is like, okay, we're going to have like a list of people that have confirmed, RSVP'd to meet here or meet there, and just make it better.
Yeah. The extracurriculars were just as fun as the curriculars,
if not more.
Yeah. Mosh Isley was fun. Yes.
It was fun.
Let's see. What else do I have? If you're going by yourself, great. But if you can go with somebody that you trust, even better. We didn't go with our families.
Right.
And I think that was the right move.
I agree.
And I don't mean that as any sort of dismissive statement on my wife and kids, but like, again, we maximized our experience there because we could just go and be Star Wars fans and check everything out, and didn't have to worry about
not be beholden to a day at the park. I agree with
I had no responsibilities, which made it.
Or I want to see Big Ben, it's like, oh. Look, kids, Big Ben,
the eye. But and that also speaks to the extracurriculars in the evening too, Josh. If you go with somebody that you trust and
get you back to the
hotel room, that's always a benefit. Sure. We had separate beds, but it was good that we shared a room together.
Beyond good. Well, there were some low points, but yeah.
I mean, it wasn't all home runs. There was some singles in there. So,
all right, let's go don'ts.
Okay. This is a don't that I learned from talking to Jason, and Jason's in the chat. Jason was there for a 2-day stint, and he and I, amongst a group of people, were chatting about his experience. And one thing that stuck out to me, what he said, was that he spent a lot of time queuing for autographs.
Yeah.
And that's, on the one hand, it's awesome getting those.
Yeah, I'm gonna put it up. You're good. Keep going.
Well, it's great, if autographs are your thing, or if there's somebody that you really want to see, and get the photo op with or whatever, that's awesome. Do it. But understand, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait, especially if you don't have a Jedi pass.
Yeah.
You're gonna queue in line, and you're either going to spend time in line waiting to get that autograph, or you're going to get there so early because you want to be in the front of line. You're going to spend time either way on that. And if you're there for a 1 or a 2-day stint, there's a risk reward that you have to balance out.
That was one of my don'ts, but I just put it up there because Fanboy Cantina put it up. Even with the Jedi Pass, the autographs take time. My don't, but I'm different. My don't, and I actually kept the don't. I actually adhered to this during celebration, was don't wait in line. Like, don't wait in line longer than 30 minutes or 45 minutes. We'll say, let's just say under an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's the value, unless you're going to some key panels. And I'm talking about the one that I went to. I would have highly recommended just wait in line, even if with the option of maybe not getting in. But on top of that, there were other places you could go to view the video stream of that. Just make sure that you're not taking half your day in queue. And we went to, now you might miss out on something. You really might. We went to the Star Wars Celebration store about third day in. It was picked clean.
It's pretty, it was pretty clean. Sparse.
But guess
especially what? For like if large and extra large sizes, like.
Yeah. We remember we had to go digging, and we didn't know if those, like, because I think they kind of parse them out throughout the days. They'll put an X amount out, each day. So I would say don't wait in line unless it's something that you're ultimately passionate about. Like, if you're really like, I have to get this exclusive Funko Pop, fine.
Mm-hmm.
But then make that your only thing. And then the next few days, don't queue up for all this stuff. But if you think you're going to go in and just get everyone's autograph and get all the exclusive toys, you're there for a reason, but I don't know if it's the right reason, because I think you're going to miss out on the energy that the room had, and maybe just the relaxation that really should be what is a Star Wars vacation. That's what it should be.
So just understand that if you want those things, it's gonna cost you time.
Yeah. So and how much is the time worth to you?
Exactly. For some, it might be no big deal. For others, it might be something to do differently the next time. Right. So just consider that. Consider it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that's not a pure don't. I like what you said. It's a consider. Like, consider your time. Or maybe even if everything lines up, which this will go to the do. I have to throw another do in there. If everything lines up, maybe you have one day where you're like, I'm just going to grind this out today. And then take the rest of the days and really do it. But the do is get organized before you go. It's confusing. And I think if you use your peer group to help you navigate some of this stuff. The app was clunky. It was okay.
I mean, it gave basic times, and
and the lottery was weird. You get in, you get a little guy who's running. He's like, you're almost there. One time it went really fast, and one time it never worked. I just turned it off.
He just never stopped running.
He never stopped running. So like, there's like all that lottery stuff, fine. But I would really recommend pick 1 or 2 or 3 things that you really want to see, and let the rest happen if it happens. By the way, that person in your group with the Jedi pass can help happen. if you're so lucky. So anyway,
Gary had a good point here. Don't have high expectations with the photo ops or the autographs. It's a move along thing, nothing to see. So
I heard Ewan was just head down signing.
Well,
I don't want that experience.
I think he wasn't there for the full 4 days, and so he was cranking them out. And God bless him for it.
Yeah. No, but I appreciate that.
You know, if you thought you were going to get your 30-second conversation, hey, you know, but you probably weren't. You know, you might get a fist bump and a smile click, and then on to the next person. So
I heard that didn't even happen.
Yeah. So they were kind of whipping through the lines, even though they were taking a long time to get there. Once you were there, it went very quick. So you decide if the juice is worth the squeeze. All right.
Perfect.
One thing that we did not do that I have a bit of regret about, if I have any regret about the weekend, is that we did not get into the Mandalorian experience.
We didn't.
We wanted to. And it was a combination of, well, other things were, because like one day you were in a panel during that time that it was open. And then the next day I was in a panel, and then you also had to, it wasn't just like a stand in line and get it. You had to, on an app, get in line. And so.
Well, they sold out, and then they just said, sorry, this event's closed, because they queued everybody they could get through it, you know?
So we didn't get to do that. And I wish we would have, but I mean, I'm not kicking myself, but it is one thing that we both wanted to do that we didn't do.
I would say another don't is have regrets about missing something,
because you're going to miss stuff. Yeah, you're not going to be able
to miss stuff. You have to miss stuff to see other stuff. And by the way,
there's a lot of panels that I wish I would have saw.
I know, and I think we replace some of those experiences with friends. I really do. I mean, it's one or the other, right? So don't worry about it.
Don't beat yourself up about missing stuff, because everybody missed something somewhere.
Man, it was fun though. All right. Have we beat this one to the ground, or you got one more?
No, I got one more good thing that we did.
Okay.
And this is just because we happen to have a, little podcast and stuff, but we brought swag. We brought patches and pins, brought to you by Left Coast Graphics.
Left Coast in the chat.
But I thought that was a good idea by us, because people like getting
I would say do bring something that represents you.
Yeah. If you have something that you can give away, I thought that was a really good idea.
And I have a little box full of stuff upstairs that, like, I went through it and I'm like, who the hell is this? Oh, what was, which is cool.
We need to go through it together.
We do. And I think that it will also, do make connections there. We made a connection a couple places that will hopefully lead to a better, experience for you guys later on. I'm talking auction. I'm talking, we made some connections there that I think are going to be fun. But bring your own little calling card, whatever that may be. And like Framey literally brought a trading card.
Exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
It looked good in his robe. Saber ignited. So yeah. But do bring something that people perhaps can remember you by, or trade with you. I mean, that's what we are, especially on this show. We're collectors, we're traders. We like to exchange items. We did have a little fun at the swap meet upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
It was, we didn't go through the main room, but even the people that were
kind of snuck in.
Okay. You did, and then you got booted out. But even we went through the room and, or the outside of the room, there were people that just kind of sat down on the edge of the hallways and just kind of laid out their wares, which were, on the whole, nothing special. But there were some pretty rare items some guys are trying to peddle.
Yeah.
So we had fun with that. I mean, that's a do in, like, that was a random experience we had.
Yeah.
You sought it out. You're like, I hear there's a swap. I'm like, all right,
swap meet, let's walk through.
We went up 2 escalators and found them, and it was weird. But
even up there, we ran into a couple of people that we were hoping to see, and that was cool too. So
very fun.
Really, that's it, Josh. I think that's, I can't imagine, like, while we said, like, it would have been nice to go to the Mandalorian experience and stuff, I can't imagine our 4-day experience down there being any better. It was so much fun. We met so many people, got to hug some necks. We got to shake some hands. We got to see some things we'll never see again. Listen to some people talk about things that we'll never hear again. I mean, like there was Star Wars night at Disneyland. Like there were so many highs to that 4-day experience. I don't know if we could have done it any better.
No, I mean, I think we could have refined it.
Sure.
But would it have been better? No. Would it have been more concise? Maybe. Gary already made the point, like organic is best. Fine. I like that idea too, which is how we rolled, you know, and I didn't feel bad about that.
No.
What I'm saying is like, I'd almost like to be a little more premeditated in my organicness.
Like an itinerary, a spontaneous itinerary.
Yeah. The last do that I have, and then we can move on, is do your best, which is what I have to do to get to London, because I just think that you only live once, right? And I don't know what it costs to get there from where you live. I don't know what it costs to get there from where we live right now. But I do know that if you're passionate enough to be sitting here watching the likes of Andy and I and many other content creators out there, this experience is a life, not a life enhancing. I hate the word changing. It's a life enhancing experience because it will take your faith in everything that you've invested in for this genre and amplify it, you know, and really make you realize like, holy cow, there's a lot of people out there like me in all walks and forms. And they're damn good people. Like, did you meet a piece of shit out there? There's not one piece. Name him or her. Name
just
her.
out him
just
right now.
Just out him. Like, name one piece of shit.
I met one a-hole. No. No, absolutely not. I mean, for all of the negative comments that you see on social media at
those
times,
are the assholes I don't want to meet.
Yeah, and I don't think any of them were at Celebration.
They never are. They can't afford to leave their computer,
their basement, and so it's like you and I watched the first 2 episodes. We were at the premiere of Obi-Wan, which guys were like, oh yeah, we also did that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I mean, Ewan McGregor was right over there.
Yeah. So yeah, we watched it in 2 different places. You watched it with about 5,000 or 6,000 people. I watched it with about 2,000 or 3,000 people in the room that I was in. Mm-hmm. And to a person, everybody walked out of there floating on a cloud. To a person. There was not one person that was like, meh.
No, not one.
Not a single
sabers
person.
In the air.
Oh my gosh.
Scotty crying. I mean, and that just happens.
I mean, you know, you throw a rock at any Scotty and he's gonna be crying. So but like there was no negativity. There was no cosplay beef. There was none. There was
I love Katie. I knew it was coming. It's a normal occurrence. I love that guy so much, Katie. You just don't know how much we love that guy. I mean, it's hard not to.
And by extension, Katie, you're now part of that.
Oh, well,
so.
I mean, I love him almost as much as we love you.
Almost. And I know you're not going to be able to go to Celebration in England, but it's because you're doing something even cooler. Yeah. Getting married to Scotty. So
making the biggest mistake of your life. No, it's
you're my favorite mistake.
All right. Let's move on.
We got some stuff to show now.
Yeah, we got to hustle.
Do we?
Because we started reminiscing again.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you, life-altering experience.
Okay. Josh, you got some things on your porch waiting for you when you got home.
I did have a few things. I had multiple things.
Multiple.
Some of them I had shipped to myself. Some of them I had forgotten I had shipped to myself, aka pre-orders. Son of a bitch. Keep coming. My wife's like, what's this? I'm like, dude, that was a year ago.
I pre-ordered that was in a different state of mind.
I didn't realize that they would show up after I had just taken a huge Star Wars trip. But let me show the first one. Ready?
Okay.
Make me big.
Okay, hold on. I got you. About a nickel forever.
I got such a, I mean, come on. And JD, right? JD made me do this. Here, I gotta back it up. JD made me do this. and I have a funny story to back it up. I love this. But here's the deal.
What is that, Josh?
It is a helmet in the likeness of Bo-Katan's helmet. I'm just kidding. It's a perfect example of Bo-Katan's helmet.
From the Black Series.
From the Black Series. It's beautiful. It's beyond gorgeous, and they were selling like hotcakes at Celebration. You had Hasbro there displaying it, and then you had I don't even remember. JD would remember, probably. Put it in the chat if you do, JD, because I don't remember the name. But you had a vendor there that just had boxes of them for the first few days, and then day 4, day 3, they were gone. I bought this on day 3 and shipped it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I had a point that I just made to you, Andy. Oh, there's my poor puppies whining upstairs. That's great. That I am firmly in the camp, like without any question, that there is no way that I would buy another helmet. Like Hasbro has done this right. They've nailed it. They continue to make high quality helmets with high quality detail at a reasonable price that I can
display
confidently display or cosplay with.
By the way, Josh, how does it fit?
Well, let me show you. I also like this. Oh man, I look good.
You look so damn good. Oh yeah.
I look good. I look good.
You look as good as Katie Sackhoff.
I look at myself in the camera and I can't even. Oh, bam! Now I have you targeted. Yeah, I love these helmets so much. Like
Paul is in on it too, by the way.
And like I said to you, like I know there's other manufacturers out there, and I appreciate those guys. I really do. Some of them were groundbreaking in bringing us helmets that we've never had access to, but Hasbro and the Black Series continue to deliver. And what do we say? Maybe 3-4 a year now.
Yeah,
they can just keep making these. Maybe it's the power of tooling. It's the power of
build a bucket.
It's he's plugging your own shit. It's the power of getting the paint right from a toy manufacturer that's been doing Star Wars for a very long time that allows them to do this. And this is the best gift they can give us right now. Mm-hmm. We question some of their, hey, the Rancor didn't make it, but I do not question Hasbro's ability to create high quality helmets that I can display proudly and really, wear. And I like that this is actually number 2, but it is number 1 of the female of a helmet for a female, right? Unless
you have.
You could always say a stormtrooper is on a female, right? But but that I have, and I love that. I hope that we see some more Mandalorian helmets from other characters, female characters, and I can't wait to display it. I've been sitting it out here just to show tonight, but awesome product. Now, here's the funny story.
Let's hear it.
So I buy this. Somebody put out there there was 4,000 available or something like that. Now we're on.
I got you.
So I buy this. I pay $30 to ship it and some other stuff back from.
Yeah, you didn't actually wear it on the plane.
I did not wear it on the plane. Unfortunately, would have helped as I bang my head against the window in the turbulence. But I get home and the day after I get home, a Entertainment Earth box shows up on my doorstep, and it is not the day after. The day after I got the shipment of the helmet I purchased, the Entertainment Earth pre-order shows up, and I had ordered that helmet. And I sent you a text. What was my text?
Damn it, Josh.
Damn it, Josh.
Well, it was so funny. Looking back now, it's even funnier, but you were like FOMO on the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
You're like,
I didn't buy it the same day.
No, you didn't.
Like, no, I went back the second day and then the third day.
I better get it. I better get this. I got to get this. I better get this. And 2 days after you got back, there was one waiting for you.
Damn it, Josh. Don't you know you liked it then and you bought it then and then you liked it now and you bought it now? You dumbass. Yeah, Paul accidentally. Yeah, good for you, Paul. But it doesn't matter because guess what? My buddy Andy now has a Bo-Katan helmet, so he deserves it. He deserves it. So that was a great get, but we have more porch
goodies.
Porch goodies.
Porch goodies.
Porch
Hashtag
goodies.
porch goodies.
Hashtag porch goodies.
Hash brown.
Are we ready? Let's show this bad boy off.
Okay.
Oh, we got to do it now, or else it'll not be his ass.
No. Do the red 5 thing.
Oh, yeah. Oh, is this? Yeah. Let me do that. Oh, you're putting your earphones on?
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. They already saw it, but.
Red.
Hello, what have we here?
Collector tip.
What?
That's what happens when you don't have headphones on. Oh, man.
No, it's the one that says red 5 on it.
Well, I can't find it.
Do you want me to find it?
Oh, I got it. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that handsome fella.
Ladies and gentlemen, Hot Toys 1/6 scale. Brought to you by Red 5 Designs Toy Review. Proud to bring you the Transport Trooper / Juggernaut Driver.
Juggernaut Driver. You better not jug this knot. What?
Oh, yeah.
A toy so hot, Andy put his earphones on. Yeah. Look at that guy. He's got one red arm. Look, you don't have
a pistol.
You don't have to have the comic prowess of Bill Burr to drive this juggernaut.
What I like about this is its simplicity, Josh. This one did not. It's not a deluxe figure. It's not
deluxe.
It did not come with a lot of accessories.
But it sure likes to wait. Damn.
It's cool though. I mean,
it's cool.
It's they've been pumping out Mandalorian hot toys. This is just the next one that arrived on your porch. I do like the shin guards. The shin guards are a nice touch. The Rogue One looking blaster pistol. And that helmet is a freaking sweet helmet. If you're a helmet lover, like I know you are, Josh, this will be a helmet that will be in a display of yours as soon as they make one.
Gary Moore points out his third leg. No, I like him. I think he's good. Can't wait to put him up on the shelf. Yeah, that fire was not lit before he showed up. No, he's a handsome fella. There he is. Transport Trooper.
This no face underneath, right? Just a helmet.
Nah, just a head.
Nice.
You just pop that helmet off, and then you just have a little neck bubble.
Neck knob.
You got to throw a helmet back on.
All right, I like that one. Like I said, there's not a lot to it, but he's sharp looking.
You got a couple different hand options.
Always.
You could obviously raise his gun. You could put him in the driving position if you'd like to. The driving position if you want to display him.
Honking the horn with his arm.
Exactly. Juggernaut, driver, transport, trooper, whatever you want to call him.
The helmet makes the figure on this one.
Yeah. And you know what? That's a great thing to say because guess what? We had helmet issues.
Speak for yourself.
With I will. Yeah. We had helmet issues. With a few other adapted helmets. I won't name them, but this is where the Mandalorian got it right, man. This is a cool adaptation of a trooper helmet that we all can appreciate. I mean, we have Clone Wars helmets. We've got OG Stormtrooper. We've got Duck Troopers, which nobody seems to adore entirely.
Put up with them.
Yeah, we put up with them. They're growing on me. But isn't that the way it is?
That's just the way it is. As Bruce Hornsby likes to say, that's just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
Josh, why don't you swap out what's on the spinner? I'll make myself large and in charge.
Oh, look at how big he is.
And we'll talk about something that my son got the week before we were down at Celebration. my son went to Disneyland. He got to go, and he made his own lightsaber. He crafted his own, and he's got a saber for it as well. But I chose not to bring it. But this is the one that he built himself in the saber building room. What was that? The
Savi's,
yeah. So this is his, and guess what color of a crystal he got?
red,
Yellow.
Oh, a healer, whatever we call them.
The yellows were typically the
Guardians.
Yeah,
whatever.
Okay, so it's cool. It's big. It's got a little, hook you can attach to your belt. Okay, but he also got another one, and darn it if I didn't forget that it was in a couple pieces here, but put it together real fast.
Oh, I can see it already. I know what it is.
I know
what it is.
Come on, go together.
Oh crap! You got to hurry up.
No, I got it.
No, you're doing good.
Recognize this bad boy, Josh?
I love it. Show the bottom.
This is the bottom is the damaged end to the Cal Kestis Fallen Order lightsaber.
It's beautiful.
It's awesome, and it's big. This thing's big. What's really cool is that it comes with a normal end and then a battle damaged end, but there is a piece that you can get and you can attach to it.
Right.
You can dual wield this saber, which is really cool. So
that's beautiful.
It's freaking
beautiful.
Meaty here.
No, I'm hyper jealous of that for sure.
You want to hold it?
Yeah. Well, I'm not on screen, but yeah.
I can put you on screen.
Okay.
There you go, Josh.
I'm on screen. No, it's gorgeous. I love the flaring. Isn't it really cool how Jedi Fallen Order and Cal Kestis have elevated, they hopped into fandom cool.
Yeah.
They are fandom cool. Well, and we have the Inquisitors I know the Inquisitors were before Cal, but really the sisters.
They're tying it together.
Oh man, can I tell my theory? We'll do that in a minute. But I love this. I think this is a worth owning saber. Does it make any noise?
Well, when
I got a saber, you want to put it in? I'm going to grab it.
Go ahead. All right. Then while you do that, I can talk about the last thing that I got that we actually didn't get to talk about last show because I just kind of forgot it. And it's the one thing that I was looking forward most to getting at Celebration. This movie poster, 1977. One sheet. Teaser B style Star Wars poster. So this came out preceding the movie. It is authentic. It is original. It is fairly plain. Long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. You know what? I apologize about that.
You're so big, bro.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay, so just a white border, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Boom. And that's it. This is one of those Star Wars posters that doesn't have the beautiful artwork like of Hildebrandt Brothers or Drew Struzan or anything like that. But the beauty again is in its simplicity, and it's a 1977 teaser poster, right? This is awesome. I've been after this one for a while, and they're only increasing in price. And they're very easy to duplicate if it weren't for one thing. And I'll talk about that more. I think this summer, Josh, and I haven't told you this, but I'm going to do like a little poster corner or do like a 5-minute video on a...
Oh, I already have the jingle. It's Andy's Poster Corner, where posters are in a corner with Andy.
Yeah.
Star Wars. I don't know how that was. Poster corner.
Anyway, really jazzed to get that on the wall.
Really jazzed.
Really jazzed.
Super jazzed. All right, I found a saber. Oh, you can't see it because of the damn lighting. But oh, listen to it.
That thing's got like a sub
It's
in it.
angry. Love it. Big fan of this hilt. All right, what else? Gary, no, that is not a work in progress. That was actually a cover of the actual. That's happening. That is happening. Poster corner. I mean, think Sesame Street.
Yeah,
and then think Big Bird.
Katie, we're in the same room. I don't know if you knew that. See, watch this. We're like a dyad in the Force. You don't have to reach across the galaxy to force. Wait, nothing.
Wait, what?
What? Yeah, that poster.
We also held hands.
Yeah. On camera, we held hands.
Wow. Yeah.
Anyway,
Real life.
I'm hustling through these poster comments. That everything that you guys are saying is absolutely true. It's a plain poster, but it is so classy. It is a classic poster. Hey, Jeff. Good to see you, buddy. Jingle.
What's that? I didn't see anything wrong with that. Look, if you're going to bed tonight and you're not singing Poster Corner with Andy, then you're a liar. With Andy.
What
Hey,
are you
kids?
What are you drinking tonight, Josh?
I've got an Elysian Contact Haze Hazy IPA.
Oh, okay, I've got an Elysian Super Fuzz Blood Orange Pale Ale.
Jeez, sounds like more than beer.
Doesn't taste bad.
Good. We do not have matching basements, Katie. Thank you for asking.
That'd be weird. All right, we've got another hot toy.
The hot as it well, not as hot as it could be.
No,
but
not as hot as episode 3.
It will be.
Yeah, but this is episode 2 hotness.
Hit
that music.
Here it comes.
Oh,
look at that. Light on that guy. Hold on. I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
You had it right the first time. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. Brighten that baby boy up. Anakin! I have the high ground. That's pretty good.
That was not bad.
But that's episode 3. I'm getting ahead of myself. Literally.
Well, guess who's got the low ground? Clone Wars Anakin.
Yes, Clone Wars Anakin. This is his outfit is Clone Wars animated style, but he's got the actual Anakin face, not the animated face. So looks very good likeness. He's got the little holo disc that comes with 3 holo disc, 3 hologram options. You can get what we have up there right now is the Palpatine. You can also get Yoda, or you can get an Ahsoka Tano.
Which I think is cool because that's a melding of the movie
and the
animation.
Yep.
Since we have a movie,
Love it.
I love it. I'm a big fan of this dude. As a matter of fact, of this hot toy, you can flare out his I don't know what you call
Tunic,
maybe cape, robe. Yeah, tunic. I like tunic. Very, very good. His likeness is spot on, as Hot Toys always does, and he will be a fine addition. We did have a little struggle with his right arm can actually convert to an arm that you put batteries in, and the saber will light up. And Andy and I spent 15 or 20 minutes trying to rip his arm off, which Obi-Wan was able to do in like 3 seconds. So, or less. So yeah, I'm a little frustrated that didn't happen, but given our camera situation, it probably wouldn't have shown up anyway. And you guys get the fire. Is the fire behind Anakin the most appropriate fucking thing we've ever done?
If only it were Revenge of the Sith.
I know, but this is like
Josh, can you do a little camera work on him? Like,
I will
zoom
but
in.
This is almost like foreshadowing.
Oh,
right
yeah,
here.
100%, Josh. You're not wrong.
All right, here we go.
All right. we'll get a little up close, not as much of a reason to go up close with the Juggernaut driver, but with Anakin, yeah, we got to get it all up in there. You're all up in that grill. Oh yeah. And then that actually, even though it's a very small version, that actually looks like Ian McDermott, who will be, by the way, at SummerCon next weekend in Puyallup, Washington. The boots are awesome. They are totally awesome. The pauldron, Jedi pauldron. So good. So good. Holy camera work, Josh. I mean, you're friggin' Steven Spielberg over here. So you went Jurassic Park? Yep. On the Steven Spielberg comment? You know what? Or you could do Star Wars. Shot, guys. Look at that shot. Oh yeah. So angry. He's pissed. He hates sand. He hates sand, but he loves Padme.
Awesome dude there. Awesome. Oh my God, that's a great shot too.
Yeah. I mean, the classic saber hilt is very recognizable. The leather forearm straps, awesome. The boots are incredible. Like, that is just a gem of an outfit.
His face sculpt is frickin' spot on.
Yep.
It's spot on. I love it.
Yeah.
They do it right over there at the old Hot Toys camp. I'll tell you what.
When it comes to faces, yes.
Yes.
They do it better than Sideshow.
When it comes to taking off their right arms, though, pain in the ass. Couldn't get it done. But I'm all right with that.
There's probably something that we're not doing right.
What? Are we going to get in trouble?
No, but I'm just saying, the arm is probably...
Oh, you mean taking it off?
Yeah, taking the arm in and out, swapping the arms out. But I don't know.
We'll figure
We'll do more research.
We'll do more research and we'll make a whole goddamn show about it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Thanks for watching our spins, baby. Man, we had some good stuff.
We did.
We had some good stuff. Now, the only thing, we're at the hour mark, and we appreciate everyone that's hung around, everyone that's hanging in the chat. You guys are our best friends ever. Thanks for Scuba Pete's here. Speaking of best friends,
yeah.
Thanks for liking this and all the other stuff I'm supposed to say that all the good content creators say, and I don't say it. Andy,
Josh,
now this is the deal, because we put it on the title, and we can say no. I actually think it's funny if we do, but we put it in the title. Is it time to talk about Kenobi?
I think we can say everything we want to say in less than 10 minutes.
Okay, let's do it.
4 episodes in, 2 to go. Josh, what do you like best about it so far?
I am a big fan of a Kenobi we haven't seen, which is middle Kenobi, which is vulnerable Kenobi, which is distraught and defeated Kenobi. Because what do we get from Kenobi? Even in Phantom Menace, we got this young Padawan, or
anxious,
very confident, very Qui-Gon Jinn. Step back. I'm going to take on Darth Maul, Kenobi. Then we get, forced into master, leader
right.
Kenobi,
a little bit more measured,
Kenobi, a little more measured and calm down. And then we get had to make a tough decision and maybe didn't make the right one, Kenobi. And now he's paying the consequence. I don't mind that. I like that Kenobi. I like the Kenobi we have right now. And I think that we saw in episode 4 a hint of confidence rebuild.
Well, I think it is coming back.
Right.
Well,
the Force came back.
Well, he's also taken a 10-year hiatus from doing anything to draw attention to himself, including use the Force. So if you don't do something for 10 years, even if you were fluent in it before, you're going to be rusty. It's not going to come naturally. You're going to have to work at it. So I think that's very human. of him, the best part for me has been Leia.
Oh, yeah. Period.
It's
I
just
can't
been-
disagree.
It's been perfect. That is Leia. That's Leia at 8 years old. That's
I would say
Leia.
the casting was beyond perfect. I'm not sure that that little actress isn't actually related to Carrie Fisher. Just if you look at the picture that I shared with you,
Yep.
I mean, she looks like Carrie Fisher. I love that Lola was Carrie's parrot, and that's the robot's name, or parakeet. I don't know what it was.
Lola.
Bird. It was a bird. I, as usual, that's what I voiced with you. Like it's got its clunky Star Wars dialogue from time to time, but only, strangely enough, only with Kenobi. The dialogue with the Inquisitors and Vader is very like, ooh, like I feel it every time. Kenobi is the only one that's just doing is like, they're not here now. We have to go, and I'm like, remember that was
You
my
sound
point.
A little Valley Girl, English Valley Girl.
Then I nailed it.
You nailed it. What?
We're not here, Leia. God, get in the car. Gag me with a spoon, Leia.
Not DJ Leno.
I can't do Jay Leno. Salacious Leno. Salacious Leno. What do you think, huh?
I don't
know. What are you gonna do?
No, one thing that I really like is the Reva and Vader interchanges or exchanges, because it is quite clear that Reva wants so desperately to be on Vader's good side. And it is so quite clear that she will never be on Vader's good side, because he will dispatch her. And this is one of my little fan theories that I'm building on, is that as soon as he gets the opportunity to see Obi-Wan again, he will be done with her faster than grabbing a hot plate. So.
I don't, not to like discount what you're saying, but I think it is painfully apparent that he is like, I want Obi-Wan and I almost killed you, but then you were like, I put a tracker on a ship. So he's like, yeah, I'll use you. And I agree. He is just using any way to get to Obi-Wan.
Yep.
And nobody has any value after that has happened.
Nope. That is
I agree with that.
Clear.
I agree with that.
Clear.
But
what you were talking about Obi-Wan earlier, it's like Obi-Wan is one of the most developed characters that we have.
Sure.
Because we see him from a young age to old man, and not a lot of our beloved characters make it to old stage.
Sure.
Okay. So Obi-Wan has been,
just
especially
him and Vader.
they make it to a ripe old age, and it's my opinion is that the Obi-Wan that we get in Rebels when he faces down Maul for the last time, that is Jedi Master Obi-Wan.
Right. That's Yoda.
That's when
Yoda, Obi-Wan. Yeah.
That's when he's put it all together. That's when he is calm. That in the face of danger, he is not anxious. He seems to be at peace with what the Force wills.
Right.
Okay. And I think this has been a nice transition into how he goes from the younger, not that he's always been impetuous, but just from a younger man to an older man. We're getting that transition, and we're seeing how he becomes to be able to be put in a position to be the master, that he is kind of the pinnacle of Obi-Wan, which is when he faces Maul the last time, and then goes on to, for a moment, instruct Luke and set him on a path. So,
but do we think that his redemption, because his redemption ultimately, if you wanted to look at it, like even
Obi-Wan's redemption,
even though we saw that great moment with him and Maul, where he basically takes Maul out in one samurai move,
right?
It's not a battle. It's just like he's the master.
Yep.
Do you think Obi-Wan's redemption is going to come from his saving of Leia, Vader or Anakin's daughter, before he quote unquote trains Luke? Is his redemption ultimately Leia? which that would change a little bit because that'd have to change everything because Luke was his passage into the Force, essentially, with Vader taking him out, and he sacrificed himself for Luke. He is sacrificing his
himself for the future
and everything for Leia right now, right? He's sacrificing the path he chose for Leia. Is Leia his path to that master? And Luke happened to just benefit from that experience? I mean, I think that's just a weird juxtaposition.
Sure. I don't disagree that, well, they're making it very evident that Leia is as important as Luke.
They are.
Okay. And
like more important. She's more important than Luke right now. He left Luke to go save Leia. I mean, which is interesting.
Right. And if you think into the sequels, Luke didn't really train Rey. He gave her some 3 things to think about.
Yeah, it was
Leia. It
was a Ben Kenobi training for sure.
It was Leia that trained Rey. So, I mean, we've always separated the two as being important in the Force and important in politics and policy and
Senator.
people,
Yep.
right? So they were both important for different reasons, extremely important. But now Leia is kind of, yeah, you could be right. It could be kind of redirecting, not just that Leia is also extremely important, but maybe you're right. Maybe maybe his redemption ultimately lies in, I guess you could have to say both of them.
I'm just saying, is Leia his path to forgiving himself for his failure with Anakin? That like at this point, he's only interacted with Luke by Santa Claus and dropping off toys in the night.
Right.
And now Leia's a direct interaction. His first interaction with Luke doesn't happen until Luke's, 19 or 18 or whatever he is. And he saved Anakin's other kid years before that, 10 years before that, So, I mean, and maybe that's what gets him into that calm moment where now he can go back, watch over Luke with all the confidence that he exudes as Alec Guinness portrayed as Ben Kenobi. I think that's an interesting take because we've taken all that. I don't want to go too far down this.
No. I remember thinking this too, Gary, in Empire Strikes Back. No, there is another.
Right.
Now that line makes a boatload more sense. Knowing what we know now than when we did in 1980.
Yep.
Right. Which is awesome. It's
so good.
It's not rewriting the original trilogy.
It's propping up.
It's propping it up and making it more relevant, more important, giving it deeper meaning than what we ever had before.
Of course, Yoda knew. Of course he knew.
I mean, of course he knew. And
although we don't see
Obi-Wan
it in
knew
film, but Yoda knew.
And he was talking with Obi-Wan at that point.
Right.
And it's like, nope, there's another. And Obi-Wan, you know who it is because you risked yourself for her too.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think that's very cool.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Very,
and I think they're doing a good job. So if we were to just and tie it in a bow, because we have 4 episodes in, and our last episode, well, let's say episode 3, or chapter 3, whatever we call them, with Vader. What did you think about Vader dragging Obi into the fire?
I thought that was freaking intense, and I loved it because it was pure spite and revenge, which is only what Vader is after for right now.
Matt just nailed something there. Go ahead.
He wants to put Obi-Wan in the hurt locker right now.
Yeah.
He wants to make him feel it. He wants everything bad that happened to him and that he blames Obi-Wan for. He wants him to feel it too. He doesn't want to kill him. He wants to make him suffer. And dragging him through the fire like that, dispatching
poignant moment.
Yes, not accidental by any stretch. And it did not surprise me at all that Obi-Wan was not up to the challenge. But again, as we see him kind of regaining his form, if they have another interaction. Because again, if you recall the line in A New Hope, when I last met you, I was but the learner. Now I'm the master. So at some point, you got to think that Obi-Wan and him meet again, and he bests him because he still at that point had considered himself the learner, and Obi-Wan was still the master, even though he kind of got him there. It's not the last thing, I don't think. So Obi-Wan will get the best of him, and then it'll just eat him more.
Okay.
It's been more than 10 minutes.
You think I know. That's who cares?
Who cares?
We're in Holo Chronicles
After Hours.
After Hours.
Oh, yeah.
Now we can cuss. Well, okay. So you think that there will be yet another? I am surprised at a confrontation that's happened already between him and Vader. And you think there will be another confrontation? What do you think about their force connections that's happening in the Bacta tanks?
Well, it seems like when people go in the Bacta tank, they remember shit.
Like so is the Bacta tank just pure mushrooms?
Pure,
just liquid
hallucinogenic mushroom juice. No, but we saw it in Book of Boba Fett, right? Boba was remembering the past. Yep. He was nightmaring, basically. It's like the Bacta tank is trying to heal the mind too, not just the physical, but so there's that connection that in that state of maybe vulnerability in the Bacta tank of tranquility and peace, there's a clarity that allows them to touch, moments from the past, or in Force users touch each other. And what's really funny is that in Empire Strikes Back, just as another callback to the original, propping up the original trilogy, is that when Luke was in the Bacta tank after the Wampa extinct, what do you see him doing?
He kind of flexes and
he's shaking and he's twitching, and that lines up, and it just makes me wonder, like, okay, if this was written nowadays, what is he flashbacking to? What is he touching on? Because he didn't have that showdown with Vader yet. So what is he having a Force connection himself?
I think that's when he realized that he had kissed his sister. He's like,
so those are dry heaves.
Yeah, dry heaves.
He's puking into his mouthpiece. Yeah. Okay.
It happens.
All right. Anyway, I just like all the fact that it's connecting me to old stuff. No, they haven't.
Well, he did. No, they
shows what you know, and then she plants one on him.
Yeah.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
See, in the future, we know that happens in the Force. All right. So he's dry heaving. All right. And then he forgot. Classic mushroom experience.
Yeah. Like, did that actually happen? Did I really do that?
Could just be Kaz.
Anyway, I like how the series is going, and I like how it's made me reconsider and think about deeper meaning to the original trilogy, which, of course, did not know what would happen and transpire in the future. But I just like how the little things are still connecting up. The big things are still making everything make sense to me. All right. I am enjoying this. I like that it's not comfortable and he's not just whipping through everything to save the day, but ultimately I know he will.
Okay.
Reva is the wild card. I do not know what she's going to do.
Reva's dead.
Probably.
We know Reva's dead.
And
the Inquisitor is not.
The Grand Inquisitor maybe makes a reappearance. That would be, I'd like that too.
So I'm getting further away, but I want to throw it out there now. I want it literally out there.
Okay.
I want my terrible, unthought out, unsubstantiated theory.
Okay, chat, get ready to blast him.
All right, blast
Set your phasers on stun here, chat. Get ready.
All right. And I've told Shabby this. Who else? Sai, and then Jason, I think. Here's my theory, just for the heck of it. Here's a spoiler that I made up. We are going to see. I don't think I'm going to say it. I'm too
sissy.
I know. It was just a theory because of the Inquisitors, because of the connection, and because I've already pointed out the fan love and why not the actor is Prime. Could Kenobi be an introduction to Cal Kestis. And I don't like it any as much as I did when there were only 2 episodes in and we haven't had enough, I don't know, clues. But is there, because we have Obi-Wan who's Jedi on the run. Okay. What's Cal Kestis?
Jedi on the run.
And by the way, the timeline does line up. I looked it up.
Yeah. The new game
coming
lines
out
up with
lines up with right now because it is 5 years after the first game, which was 10 years after
it was 5 years after that one.
Right. So it lines up. We have Inquisitors in the mix, sisters, et cetera. I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but it would be a super Marvel-esque MCU type of tie-in. I don't know. Maybe even happens after the credits. If Obi-Wan crosses paths with Cal Kestis, and then we get a Cal Kestis series.
Cal Kestis like I said, series would be cool.
The actor is Prime. Yeah, I mean, it's the same guy. It's the same guy you're looking at in the video game. All they did was like image his face and then put him on there. He's the guy from Shameless. I forget his name. I don't know the actor's name. He's awesome as Cal Kestis. So I'm just saying there could be, because we have the path, right? Just guiding the Jedi, the Lost Jedi. We have all these things that are leading Lost Jedi. I just don't know if they could pass that opportunity up. So I'm saying it here first on the Holo Chronicles, and I'll be happy to get flamed. But I think that you could see Cal Kestis come into the mix. Well, I don't know how right now. I don't know how it fits because the focus should be on Vader and Leia, but I don't know how, and Kenobi, obviously.
Yeah, Henry Van. But in a, like you said, Marvel-esque way, it would make sense to have some connective tissue between the entities that are going on, like the video game, the TV show, one series and another series, and because we've got Ahsoka coming up, we've got Andor coming up.
It makes sense to me. Just the issue, and if they are during the same timeline, then it would make sense to maybe have a reference or a tip of the cap. A tip of the cap is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, is all you would need because that promotes the next thing or the other thing concurrently, and that's a good business model. But here we are talking about foresight and knowledge and planning.
Well, but that's what we're supposed to do, right? We're supposed to, as Star Wars fans, we think about the future. I think that
what is the future?
Hope. I don't think that it's a bad play. I just want to stick it out there. I haven't seen it anywhere.
Stick it out there, Josh.
I did.
That
Cal Kestis. Cal Kestis crosses paths in Obi-Wan and leads us on. If not, Dave, listen up. You can make edits.
My friend Dave.
My friend, or your friend, Filoni.
My friend Dave.
You can make edits.
T-shirt. My friend Dave.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We are... Whoops. Sorry, I was getting rid of that. What'd you do? You want that one up?
Yeah, I like it. I mean, it's things I wonder about too, Rick. I wonder about those. The half-size containers are the younglings.
Yeah,
that would be my first thought, or more Yoda creatures.
Yeah, we did see a bunch of frozen. Yeah, I don't know.
No, not Grogu.
Weird.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway. I'm reading. I love the theories in that.
I know.
See in the chat.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get too deep. All right. Well, that's enough. Thank you. You can theorize on your own in the chat. You can like us.
Well, Rick's got a show coming up right after the episode airs this morning. So if you're up, go catch Left Coast and hang out with him and theorize and discuss and geek out or whatever. So
sure.
We'll just promote your show there, Rick.
There you go, buddy.
There you go. Thanks for the pins.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. Nothing else.
That's it. We're done. We're done. We did everything we said on the thumbnail, and I'm proud of us.
Okay. And it took
almost
20 minutes.
It took 7 hours, but
it took 20 minutes to do the Kenobi thing, but that's okay.
It's all right. It's about time.
You saw the passion come through.
It was about time, and we haven't even scratched the surface, but it was about time. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time. Andy,
go play with your toys.